Ay, ay, ay. Am I working? Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Ay, ay, ay. Is the microphone wrong? Working. Test, test. 1, 2. No, I have the right microphone. Okay, just wait for stream to stream, I guess. Text. What is it called? Boom. Save. This is quite interesting. I don't know what's going on, but something is going on for sure. I don't know what, but something's going on with the stream. Why can I hear There we go. Okay, I think stream is fixed. Dude, everybody's complaining about the draw. The draw was absolutely horrendous. I will completely agree. It would have been much better to have 3 East versus 3 West. No team kills, no region kills. We get 2 region kills. Billy Billy Weibo? No. There's only one. Sorry, I'm confusing. We just get Fnatic, not Fnatic. Crap. Team Liquid versus what's their name again? FlyQuest. And I honestly I favor FlyQuest, but we'll get to that. At first, I have something real quick to upload. Add to render. It's not even funny. This was the worst possible draft. Like I think the only other worse draw. No, that would have been worse. This is the worst draw. Yeah, I guess technically you could have Weibo playing BLG, and then Team Liquid playing FlyQuest. But then EU fans would be happy. I feel like this way no one's happy. I feel like Chinese fans aren't happy because they obviously didn't want to play G2. And then all of NA fans are sad because Team Kill. All of Europe is sad because BLG. And then Korea is probably the only happy people who are just like, yay, we don't have to face BLG. That's nice. We got probably one of the weaker teams. I guess Team Liquid's looking weaker than Weibo. Did FlyQuest lose to Weibo? No, they didn't. But yeah, I don't know. It's not looking too good for North America. Um, I just feel like there were what's his name? Oh, finally the bot actually worked for once. I'll keep an eye on it though. I besides the games, but besides like that, let me just finish uploading this. All right, let's make sure it works. All right, it works. I don't think you guys can hear it though, which is fine. Maybe I'll upload it. Um, wait. Uh, Studio. I'll upload it on YouTube, so I mean, eventually you guys can watch it. But it's just a cool little clip of Yamato, like telling them, telling, giving like a pep talk, giving a motivational speech to, um, okay, Yamato motivation speech for G2 to make them believe. Um, that is not how you spell speech. Words to G2 to make them believe. Um, almost done here, and then I'll talk about the games. I promise. Uh, understood. Done. Public. Let's make sure it works. Yeah, it works. All right. Let's let's go here. Yeah. So we have first of all today we have Fnatic versus Weibo. Fnatic just I don't know, man. Fnatic is a very disappointing team to watch as Fnatic fans, as any sort of League of Legends like Western fan, like European fan. It is very sad watching what Fnatic is doing every single year. It feels like they just have to have some sort of drama at every single like step of the way. It's just very frustrating seeing what they do. Hot take. Hey, Pro Style Pancake. What's the hot take? The G2 should be happy? Absolutely. Like, at the end of the day, look, you only get so many opportunities, and you come to Worlds to play against biggest and best teams. And like we've seen multiple times, like every single team, when they face adversity, they rise up, and their fans are like all cheering. They're excited. They want to play against these best teams in the world. And then like when our teams are playing, we just hope and pray that we don't get them when PSG got BLG, you think they were crying? No, they were like, "Oh my god, we're going to knock out tournament favorite. We're going to get a revenge." Hell yeah. They were excited. They were motivated. They put in extra effort, and the games were close. Like Bin had to go gigabin to win those games, right? You don't see carry performances like these every single day. So like, props to BLG for winning. They should have been the better team, but PSG came to fight. Same thing when Pain Gaming had to play against T1. They were like, "Yeah, hell yeah, dude! You know how excited we are to play against Faker." They were happy, excited, cheerful, energetic. Like this is what you come for. This is what Yamato said it best. He's like, "You want to make it into quarterfinals just to get 3-0'd by Gen G? No, you're here to fight. And if you can't prove yourself, if you can't make that run, if you can't win against these best teams, what's the point? The goal isn't to get second. The goal isn't to get top 8. The goal isn't to do anything. The goal is to win the world championship. And unless you're doing that, like what why are we begging for the softest, easiest way to victory? We're here to fight. We're competitors. And I know I'm speaking for G2, but like just in general as a fan base, like the West, I feel like if we can't rise to this situation, how are we ever going to beat a Hanwha Life or a G2 like LNG, Gen G, like T1? How are TES? How are we going to beat them if we don't say we got this? And that's what G2 did when they faced TES and MSI, and that's how they were able to win. And that's what we need. Potentially super. Hey Radley, but underscore B. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. Potentially stupid question, but why wouldn't BLG be happy drawing G2? Wouldn't that be a pretty free win? Well, G2 is like G2 is a team that we know have a really high peak. Um, DK and Weibo are pretty hard matchups comparatively. I think they would have been happier with Damwon, with FlyQuest, or with what's it called? Team Liquid. I think probably happiest with Team Liquid. It's just probably not Damwon. I think Damwon would. Sorry, Weibo is the least favorite that BLG would want to play. But I feel like G2 out of all the Western team are the most respected and the most feared from Eastern teams. I think whenever you hear them talk, they always talk about G2. So I would say that's probably why they wouldn't want to play them, just because like at this point you just want to play the easiest thing, get to the best of fives, get to your comfort zone, which is interesting because BLG as soon as it all Chinese teams, I don't think a single Chinese team, has dropped a game in the best of series. Like whenever they get to the best ofs, they've won every single game. Um, like they didn't lose 2-1 or anything. Well, oh, wait, no, I lied. Today Weibo lost a game. But in general, like they're better in the best of series. So just get there. I was talking to Elk, and I was like, which team would you prefer to play? And he was like, honestly, just give us the easy teams. We just want to get to we want to get past Swiss. We want to get to like the good stuff, the playoffs. So I can see it from like that perspective. Chat is like really far behind. I actually see people are typing, but I don't see it on my end. So I'm gonna do this. What is your opinion on the NA versus NA matchup? I hate it. I hate it so much. I wanted like we had three Eastern teams and three Western teams. Just give us East versus West. That's what I was praying for, and we didn't get that. I was very very sad. Like as soon as Damwon versus Weibo, I was like, man, we're gonna have like an East versus West match, East versus sorry, a West versus West matchup, and I was very sad. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But again, at the end of the day, that is the luck of the draw, and I think that it's quite entertaining. Like Swiss in general, like the pools and stuff. I'm not looking for the most accurate representation of who the best teams in the world are. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the most entertainment, and sometimes it sucks. Sometimes you get really sucky draws, kind of like what happened with KT and Damwon last year. Like it was really sucky. It was a rematch too, so in that sense, it was kind of sad because you could have had like I don't know, you could have Fnatic play against Damwon, right? You could have had Fnatic play against KT. Like Damwon could have played against G2. Like you could have better matchups, and not have to have like East versus like a rematch East Korea versus Korea. So I don't necessarily like that aspect, but I understand why it happens. Um, I totally agree with that. BLG is a top five team. G2 is ranked what sixth place. I mean, I think a lot of people would say G2 are a top eight team in the world. I think people don't have that much faith in Damwon. I feel like you would say if you wanted to, and we're like very cynical and just wanted to say like, look, the East is better than the West completely. So like one, two, three of Korea, one, two, three, four of China are just better than. Well, you wouldn't say four of China because like they lost a best of one, but I still think in a best of five, like Weibo definitely can beat G2. So even if you want to say all seven teams are better, G2 would still be number eight in a lot of people's minds. I honestly think FlyQuest is just like more consistent. If surprisingly to say, with Whippo just inting games, I just think I actually think like FlyQuest versus G2, FlyQuest would have I would have favored them just because I don't know. I feel they have better understanding of the meta. They have like these really cool pocket picks, and I just think they can pull out more. So I'm looking forward to FlyQuest. I think FlyQuest is going to beat Team Liquid. Like I don't even think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 2-0. Like I think FlyQuest is just going to come out. They're gonna take care of business. They're gonna play their macro very very well. They're gonna team fight better than Team Liquid. Team Liquid's like very very shaky, and it's not going to be close. APA's mom like was responding to the video where I was like, yeah, he's gonna lose, and she's like, no, my son, like he's gonna win. And I'm like, I respect that. I hope he does win. Like for your sake, I hope he has a really good game. But like, I'm sorry, I don't see it. But yeah, even if you say G2 is like the 18th best team in the world, do they deserve to make it out? I don't know. Like, you should beat Korea fourth seed. I know it's T1, but like as the first seed of EU or NA, you should be beating the fourth seed. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like at some point, we just have to be like, if there's that much better than us, if all of the Chinese and Korean teams are better, like I don't know, man. I get frustrated with people trying to dodge. I'm a person who I just want to see us like fight. I want to see us fight, and like we haven't gotten. Did we get a single win over an Eastern team? We haven't. And like, okay, I guess technically we beat Hanwha one game, and I was really disappointed with FlyQuest. I felt like they definitely could have closed that out. And like, getting close is fun and nice, but at some point you gotta close these games out. It's very frustrating to like be so close every single time. Like, come on, it's just at some point you just get. I guess it's better than not being close. I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining too much. Oh yeah, this is the first stream I've ever been able to make it. Well, welcome, Radley. I've been watching your content for a couple months now. That's cool. That's cool. Are you liking the interviews? I know I'm constantly trying to improve on them. So if you have any feedback, that would be awesome. What do you think about PSG's performance? Honestly, kudos to PSG. They had a really shaky like play-ins, and then like by the time they played 100 Thieves, they had cleaned everything up. They were playing really good. They beat Mad Lions. They like again like they lost to FlyQuest. FlyQuest just the better got the revenge, but they played they prepped, they played their hearts out, and like I respect it. Even though they went out, like I respect what they did. And I wish more NA teams would be like that. They would come in, even if you're a little shaky to begin with, just like get those nerves out and play to the best of your ability. So I That's what I like seeing. And Maple had one of the best few series of his life. Like, well, maybe not of his life. Season 3, season 4, 5, he was playing really, really good. So I just like the fact that, I mean, it's sad that he's retiring. It would have been amazing if they pulled off against BLG, even if they like took it to 5 games. That would 3 games. That would have been cooler. But yeah, they try their best. I respect it. And I'm proud of the boys. Jinjia, like, they ended up showing up. They didn't just collapse to begin with. Like, they ended up showing up again. They beat Mad Lions in the rematch when it mattered the most, and yeah, they did what they needed to. I feel like TL are better than people expect. They are okay. Erdwin 32. They are way better than they've shown. They have constantly choked at every step, except for maybe the last 2 games that they played. Like, game against LNG, they definitely choked. Right, we saw them flashing into walls, missing abilities. Game against Weibo, they choked. We saw them not flashing. We saw them waste flat. We saw them against Ping Gaming. We saw their macro like was not very good. Their macro was not great, and we've seen them have world class macro. Game 1 against Gam, they had horrendous play, right, and they even lost that game. They never should have. Games 2 and 3, they played much cleaner. They played a lot more like the TL that we know. If they can keep that momentum, I actually might favor them over FlyQuest. I just don't have the faith. Like, you can't go in a body of what they played 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and only 2 of them inspire confidence. 5 other games didn't inspire confidence. I'm taking the 5 sample like over the 2. So that's just my mentality, I guess. I love your interviews. Awesome. I'm really glad that you like them. The first game TL played against Gam was extremely rough draft and lane matchup, almost unplayable. It's not just that. Like, look at the macro. It's not just like the fact that they had a bad draft. The next 2 they made Gam look non-existent. Yeah, because they played better as well. Like, okay, was playing so bad game 1. Like, it's not just the draft. It's like he's actively making plays that just like scratching your head. And he's done that every single game. Like, there's a game was against Pain Gaming when they were on Grubs, and he like as Skarner just walked in all the way, all the way into them. Got completely one shot. Like, he was so far away from his team. He didn't need to go that far, and he just, I don't know, maybe he's nervous, doesn't respect his boundaries, whatever it is. Like, the players are choking. That's the, I think maybe you could say Yon. I mean, he had a couple of games where he just wasn't flashing. Like, the Lucian game comes to mind, where like he definitely could have carried, but he just wasn't respecting Skarner and just not flashing, not doing anything. Um, Core, like, even had some shaky. Like, Impact was getting solo killed. I know Spawn defended Impact a lot, but like, look, you don't just get solo killed like that dry and then be like, oh well, he was supposed to be down because it was a lane swap. And it's like, yeah, but you probably shouldn't also solo die so many times like that. Um, I think Impact has made it a whole career of winning, losing matchups and like being down but still getting the kill, or like when they come to dive you. And like Umti today in the first tower dive, he played really poor. Like, he died for literally no reason. And the thing is, the reason I'm hating, like, everyone's pointing this out, is because domestically they didn't make these mistakes. And when you're making these mistakes, that's when like this stuff comes out, you know? Because like, if this was the level of the team, I'd be like, nice, we played to our ability, but we're not playing to our ability. So that's where I feel like the disconnect is, and I really hope we see like the most powerful form of Team Liquid. I want to see Team Liquid come out with like a vengeance. I want them to like channel all that anger that they had from not like from losing finals, from everything that's happened throughout Worlds. I want them to come out and really channel it in a positive manner and like push FlyQuest to the brink. And guess what? If FlyQuest cannot punch back, you take them down. That's just what I want to see. And I would have loved to see it against the Eastern teams. I would have loved Team Liquid versus BLG, or against DK. Like, if you are not at the peak of your game, we are going to win. We are a force to reckon with. And that's like my biggest regret with this world, even though we're going to get one team out. Like, G2, the reason I say they should be happy is they get that opportunity. They get that opportunity to say, hey, we will not be denied another year. We are here. We are a top 8 team. We are not someone to just like be knocked out 2 years in a row by the same team. This is not us. Like, if we are actually serious every year about G2, like one man region, one team region, we're gonna win worlds. We're actually trying. We're actually good. The gap is close. If this is true, now is the best time to show it. And that's what I want to see. I want to like I got my eyes on G2 over versus BLG, because like I hope they believe. I hope they're going into those meetings and be like, yo, we have a solid shot. Like, we should be favorites here. Everyone's gonna favorite BLG. Little do they know we are favorites. Like we're gonna 2-0 this team. That's the type of confidence, type of like fight and grit that I feel like they need. As someone who does sports, like that's the type of thing mentality that I had. Like when you're competing against someone else, the only thing you want is to completely and absolutely destroy them, right? And like you put your entire heart and soul. Like Spawn said, we've worked 10 long months. This G2 roster, 24 months, I guess, well, technically 22 months or 20 months, whatever, of like dedicating their entire lives into making this one goal, and today's the day you make it happen, or tomorrow. Like that's what I want to see from our Eastern teams, and it really irks me the wrong way when the fans or the teams are like, "Oh man, well, sucks for us," or like, "Man, the draw, like we had a cursed draw." Like, no, they could have beat Hanwha. They should have beat T1. They're the first seed. Come on, first seed from Europe can't beat the fourth seed from Korea. Like they deserve that loss, and I would say that about NA too. Like, yes, we got. I guess you could call it a lucky draw because we got someone out, but like we didn't get to control that. So let me catch up with the. I'm happy watching PSG as someone from Taiwan. You definitely should. You definitely should. Pro style pancake. I didn't know I had you were from Taiwan. That's really cool. Or maybe I did know. I forgot. But Taiwan's one of the few places in the world I'd love to visit in one day. But yeah, I'm like as someone who's followed Maple for very long time. I used to watch Taiwan like way back when. I think when Ole was still there, 2016, 2015, something like that. Um, I thought they like I was a big fan of Flash Wolves. I think I became a fan of them 2015 IEM of 2015, or was it MS? Were they there MSI? I think they may have been MSI 2015. Around 2015, I really liked Flash Wolves, and I started watching a little bit of Taiwan. There was a lot of drama. Like it was kind of hard to keep up because some of it was on Facebook, and those were good old days. Yeah, I used to really like Flash Wolves, and then unfortunately, like Flash Wolves died and the stuff. But like I actually one of my I have a photo I'll show you. Like I think 2016 MSI. It's one of my favorite like esports moments is when where is it? You'll appreciate this. This was from May 6th, 2016 when Flash Wolves beat T1. I took this screenshot while I was watching, and like I just have this on my phone. I absolutely love um I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oops. Wait, how do I do this? I don't know. It's like a little too bright, but you can't actually tell that it's Flash Wolves. But yeah, like he was just going up to the crowd. I don't know. That Flash Wolves team was very electric. I fell in love with Taiwan at that point. And nowadays, I'll keep up a little bit with PSG, but not too much, unfortunately. I still like the Flash Wolf members though. Impact hasn't impressed me this world. Cordy J, I still believe is washed. I don't actually think he's washed. Um, Umti, very signature style, singular style. APA Yawn are the stars, the highlight of Team Liquid. The thing is, I feel like when you're comparing them to the Eastern counterparts, sure, but like I feel like they're some of the best that we have in NA. Like they were almost all first team. I think only Umti wasn't first team. All pro. Like I actually think APA and Yan have really improved. Like you said, they're the stars and the highlight of Team Liquid. But at the end of the day, it's the team is Core DJ. The team is not APA. It's not Yan. Like you could replace them. The team would still be Team Liquid. I think Core DJ is like the heart and center of the team. I think Impact made uncharacteristic mistakes, and Umti is just I don't know, dude. If they lose to FlyQuest, I can't imagine a world where Umti stays. Like I would love for this team to stick together. And I even said this, like if they keep this core, I will stop hating on Team Liquid. I will swallow my words. I will stop hating on Team Liquid. But I don't see that happening, unfortunately. I pray that if they make changes, they reform around APA and Yon. Dude, there's no way that's ever gonna happen. Like, sure, you might keep APA and Yon and like change Umti, maybe even Impact. But like at the end of the day, this is a core JJ team. Core JJ, make no mistake, this is a core team. He is the captain, the leader, and they will always build around him. There is a reason he has been playing for them for the past like 5 years, and he will continue to play probably until he retires. Yeah, true. Umti did say he was even playing like shit. Yeah, his interviews are so funny, and like the crowd was just not having it. Yeah, if Team Liquid's nerves were more steeled, I think they had LNG. Absolutely, dude. They had yeah, it was team fight blatant ins. Dude, they could have taken like a 2k gold swing by not going to that dragon and flanking, but they were like, oh, we can just wipe them and like go for bear and get even more. Like this is a completely game winning play. In NA, they win that team fight 10 out of 10 times, kill 4 to 5 members, but unfortunately, like they just execution wise flopped, and they didn't used to do that in NA, and that's like the most disappointing part. It's like we've seen them succeed in these things, and they're not making mistakes because their opponents are playing better or doing something different. They're dying because, or like they're losing because they are misplaying. So, sometimes I will say yes, the opponents play differently than how NA, like they challenge you a little bit more, but this wasn't one of those cases. Lil DDD says, "I like the haircut. Thank you, thank you. I just got it today. My hair was like, man, it was it was getting up there. Someone said he would donate me $12 for if I got the haircut, but I don't think he's gonna do it. I like the haircut. FlyQuest about to let Asol through. I don't think Asol is a good champion. Like right now, I I mean, even if APA gets Asol, I think Quad is actually a really really good laner, and I think Quad definitely can keep up. I would love to see it, dude. What if okay, if you're playing Asol and Inspire picks Nunu, like what happens then? Hey Stan Vu, if TL make roster changes, who do you think they'll pick up? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I hope they don't pick up like a leader, right? Because you have core, you don't want another leader and have a situation where it's like, oh, actually. So hypothetically speaking, you were talking about how you wish they build. So Radley, right, was saying I wish they build again around APA and Yon. I'm not saying this is gonna happen. I'm just saying it could happen. Hypothetically speaking, Berserker's on the market. Jojo Pyun's on the market. You have an import slot, and it's rumored that Berserker's about to get his green card anyways. You could technically upgrade, right? You could call it an upgrade or down, I don't know, but you could get rid of APA and Yon and get Jojo Pyun and Berserker and hope that like Core J leadership and like the environment will help them achieve their heights, which might be higher than the other players. I'm not saying that they will do that. I'm just saying that that's possible. For jungle, I don't actually know because like a lot of people are saying contracts, but like I don't know that contracts would fit in that environment. I really don't know. Like you have to do a lot of scouting. I think this is one of those cases where like I don't necessarily want to see like people are like, oh, what if they brought in Bo? They could teach it. Like I don't know that Bo would succeed in that environment. Um, so I actually I don't know. I kind of want them to keep their roster and just give it another 12 months and like really go for it and see what happens. But who would they go if they changed? You asked specifically about. Oh no, you just said if they make roster changes. I think knowing Team Liquid, they might like try to grab a Berserker and up as an upgrade over Yon, and then maybe try to find a upgrade for Umti. That's probably what I would guess. But yeah, again, I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. I feel like APA's map movement is underrated. I don't think it's underrated. I feel like everybody praises him about his map movement and how easy it is for him to like how effortlessly he gets gold on the map. I feel like it's so common. He's making shit happen roaming. Yeah, I I think he's like really smart about how he plays lane. Like he talked about it at MSI where he was like, Caps completely destroyed me, and I learned a lot through that. Like that really taught me how to play the map and like get more side lane gold. And like they were making fun of NA teams all the time. Like they don't know how to side lane. They don't know how to like they drop all their waves. And like that's one thing I was frustrated with Shopify with like what's his name? Fake God would often like want to be with the team first, so he would like drop a wave, and like after a while, his 1k gold lead made him a 1k deficit, and then we're losing towers and we're losing minions, and like that we end up bleeding because you want to help. Like it comes from a good place, but like I don't know, it's not the greatest. I just feel like I just really liked the Bwipo, Santorin, Bjergsen, Hansama core roster. I liked it too. I just one thing I would love to have a talk with Bwipo. I said this before in the previous stream, but I would love to talk with Bwipo and be like, what the hell was that roster? Like, how is it that you have 5 leaders or 5 people who know how to play the game and you weren't able to figure out how to play? That's unacceptable for like veterans as yourself, right? And like really figure out why as a team they couldn't get to it with a coach and like coaching staff and all that stuff. Like, how do you not make adjustments and find a winning play? Like, how, right? I felt like Core wasn't doing anything in that route. Yeah, I felt like Whippo wasn't Whippo. Like 2021 Whippo, like that man was like insane. He was so like what's the word? Like even 2019, 2020, 2021, that Whippo was like very intense and always was like playing very well and like doing insane engages and whatnot, like going in and like fighting. And 2022 Whippo like was not that. Core JJ was not it. Like what happened? Bjergsen even like had a really good spring and then in summer like he just wasn't playing. It was very very strange. Which is why he's kind of washed. But I see your point. I don't think it was washed. I really want to figure out why the team did that. Because it wasn't just him. Like I feel like in 2023 he played better. In 2024 he's playing way better. 2023 like sure I would agree like was the second year in a row where he was kind of washed, but I think he brought it back in when he became the leader. Again, what are your thoughts on G2 roster changes? Ooh man, Stanwu. I don't know. I mean the obvious place you can upgrade is like mm, jungle, right? I feel like Yike is probably their weakest link. I don't know if you can get like a better top laner, especially since Irrelevant already signed. Mid lane, like you're never getting rid of caps. 80 carry. Oh, you could upgrade to Upset. I feel like Upset might be an upgrade. Who doesn't have to be played around. Not saying that Hans is bad, but like besides that, I don't know how you upgrade unless you're importing. Like I feel like it's I don't know what you do if you're G2. Like if I'm the GM of G2 right now, I don't know how we win. Like maybe you sign five other players and then you pay money to boot camp G2 in Korea all year long and then bring that G2 back for playoffs. Like maybe that's the play. I don't know how this G2 roster gets any better, honestly. You could try to bring back Yankos, I mean, or Elyoya. Like you could try to upgrade. You could try to go insane, like bring a bow in or like a Milky Way and try to like find some sort of explosive power. But I don't know. Yeah, that's a really tough question, Stanvu. If TL make any changes, it will be Steve pulling out his big wallet and swapping Umpty for Inspired. There's no way Inspired goes. There's no. I cannot envision a world where that happens. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Cloud9," because they want to play. Oh wait, iOS Bones wants to run this roster back. I would love if he did that. But like, imagine a world where Steve gets inspired and then brings in JoJo. So you have Impact, Inspired, JoJo. Oh, I wonder where we've seen that roster before. And then you bring like Berserker or even Yon and Core. Like, man, that would be amazing. G2 Berserker, Bwipo Jungle, dude. Okay, okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. Hold up, hold up, hold up. That roster of TL had bad synergy, I heard. Oh, different ideas of how to play. Okay, yeah, the 2022 APA does get decent credit. Just received doubt all along the way. Yeah, because like he's only been really good for what a split. Like remember in spring he wasn't that great, and everyone was like APA and Yon they can't do it. MSI in spring like summer. That's when it's been 6 months since they've been like really good. So it's the narrative usually lags behind. D2 should bring in Berserker Bippo Jungle. I don't know, man. I feel like there's that G2 would I don't know, that's just insanity, bro. G2 Berserker, that'd be insane. Yeah, I agree. Winning so hard for so long in such a fashion, hard to say what changes would make. Yeah, Hair Fukuya VA. Yeah, that's the thing with G2. It's like they've done every single thing right. What do you do more besides literally what I said, which is sign, like spend twice as much money, three times as much money as everyone else, sign five good players, like bring promote all your academy roster, have them play LEC, which I don't think LEC would even allow that because you want the best like viewership and whatnot, and then take G2 and send them to bootcamp for Korea and have them just like come back in playoffs, kind of like what CLG tried to do way back when, and but didn't work for CLG, and then have them play like obviously if they're constantly boot camping against G2 and against the Korea and LPL, then you could hope that they're getting better. But like, what do you do, man? I feel bad for G2. Like, what do you do? You won every single split the entire year. You made top four at MSI, and now you're like on the brink of elimination. And like hypothetically speaking, you beat BLG. Like maybe then you have some faith that you could beat Gen G. But or LNG if you pick them. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for the West. Um, Fnatic versus Weibo, man. I was so confident in Weibo winning that I did not even. I had a light interview that I might publish like tomorrow or something. I didn't even consider asking a single question to Light about him losing. And then when they lost the first game, I was like, wait a minute, are they actually gonna lose? And then I saw game two, I was like, nah, they're not gonna lose. But then Team Liquid versus Gam, oh my god. I know, okay. The comment got a bunch of upvotes, and I appreciate it. Like the what is the word? The sentiment of like the very first question, well, after they won was like, man, you guys suck. Why do you guys suck to APA? And it's just because I don't get the option to like choose when I'm going, so I just assumed someone else was gonna ask a generic question. So, um, but yeah, after game one, I was just like, what the hell? How North America? Why do you disappoint me so? At least 2016 TSM lost to freaking RNG and um they weren't called Genji, Samsung, like two of the best teams in the world, like probably two of the top four teams. Like they were definitely a top eight team at TSM, but this if we lost again would have been a disaster. Reckless G2, Erdwin, come on, bro. Reckless G2 with Berserker? Absolutely not. I would not. Dude, there's a reason Yankos, Caps, both of them were like, we are not playing with Reckless on G2 next year. We refuse. Because we've heard stories of like Reckless just like being a complete diva in scrims, like actively saying participating with the team, not participating with the team. The team's telling him to draft something, he drafts something else. Like not talking. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll play Sivir," and then pick something else. Like Reckless is, from what we've heard, is not a very good person to work with anymore. Maybe previously he probably was, especially when he was carrying, but his time on G2, there's no way they pick him back up. Um, G2 just got unlucky with the draws. Sungwoo Byun. I mean, yes and no. They did get unlucky. Wait, who did they have? Okay, their first game was against PSG, right? Or was it Pain? I think it was Pain. They beat Pain. Then they had. Then they lost the game. Who did they lose to? Was it Hanwha that they lost to, and they were very close to winning? And then they beat another. Wait, let me just look it up. I forgot who they played. My brain is a little fried. Okay, G2. They played T1. They lost. They beat Weibo. That's right. That's right. So they lost to Hanwha, and then they beat Weibo. Then they lost to T1. I don't know. I feel like okay, you got seed four of Korea and seed four of China. I feel like you should be happy with that. Like it's very rare to get something like what FlyQuest or Team Liquid got. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not that unlucky. We're only saying it's unlucky because they lost. But if they beat T1, like people are like, oh, they got the number four seed from China into number four seed from Korea. Like that doesn't mean G2 are amazing. They just they beat weak teams. Um, it really pisses me off when people say G2 got unlucky with their draws. Did you see TL's draws the first two rounds? Yeah, we got number three and number four of China. Like I don't feel like that's ridiculously easy. We should win those because we're number two, like NA or Team Liquid. Some people even consider them the real number one seed. We should win those, but it happens. Yeah. Where was I? Uh, I lost where I was in chat. Oh yeah, really pissing me. Okay. Would you prefer seeing tomorrow TL or Fly when considering the best chances to make a deep run? Ooh. So I don't know. I think FlyQuest have a better shot because I feel like they have more creativity and I feel like they don't make the mistakes that Team Liquid are making. I feel like Team Liquid are choking. Maybe if Team Liquid were like playing at 100% peak of their level, Team Liquid would win. But I feel like or Team Liquid would have a better shot because they have better macro. But I feel like FlyQuest aren't making those mistakes, the team fighting mistakes. They're not making the like choking kind of thing. They haven't choked at all. So I would prefer FlyQuest to be honest. Better like picks, better mentality. I feel so. I would say FlyQuest. Um, but if Team Liquid show up tomorrow and like absolutely dominate and are looking really solid, then I'd be happy with either. But from what we've seen so far, I would say FlyQuest. Two things can be true at the same time. Yeah. So Team Liquid could have gone unlucky and G2 could have gone unlucky. I agree with that. I don't think getting third or fourth seeds is unlucky. Getting first seed from China, Korea, absolutely unlucky. Getting third or fourth, like you have to be able to compete with them. I guess technically they got first seed of Korea and China, so I would say G2 are like probably the most unlucky Western team. That's probably fair. Yeah, Black was taking out any players would be crazy after taking game off a Hanwha Life. I'm frustrated that they didn't win those games. Like they definitely could have won, and I'm kind of sad that they didn't. Um, I'm proud that they showed up. Like I even predicted that they were gonna win because I was like, they're gonna come in with strategies that the East doesn't expect. They're going to like really fight, and they did. I just felt like I don't know. Game three felt like they didn't fight, and maybe if game three was closer, I would be less upset. But it really felt like game three just kind of got rolled over. I guess they did fight. I'm just being a hater. I like FlyQuest. FlyQuest is my second favorite team. So then they drew LCK first and just drew LPL first. Yeah, that's true. Reckless is support. I meant since he's been bootcamping in Korea for like a year. I mean, he's not that great of a support. I don't know if you watched him, but like he's not that great. Mickey is so much better. Mickey is like tiers better than him. People acting like fourth place LPL and LCK are chumps. They're not. But like, if you're the number one seed and you're trying to be top eight and you're trying to like compete for the championship, you should be beating those teams, right? Those are the like. I understand they're not weak teams. They're like some of the best teams in the world. But at the end of the day, you still have to beat them if you want to like prove that you're worthy of standing toe to toe with the East. Like you have to. Got to be able to keep up with LCK and LPL fourth, third, and fourth. Exactly. Yeah, you have to be able to keep up with them, or else, like, why are you even here? Why don't we have 5 and 6 seeds from Korea and China? Like, if you're losing to them, then why don't you just like let KT bring JDG, bring Rookie, let them play? Because I'm telling you, they're not going to choke that bad, right? I mean, historically, a team has choked, so who knows? On T1 challenges, yeah, Reckless didn't look that great on T1. He had some actually good games. I watched some of the highlights. He had some good games, but I think overall he's not that great. So my 2 cents, I don't think there's any world where Broken Blade or Caps leave G2. Yike, I still think was strong, but Hans and Mickey have such unique styles. If either one leaves, the other has to. I mean, Mickey played with Caps before, right? He's won championships before having Hans, so maybe like I kind of agree with you. Top and mid are guaranteed like save, and maybe you can find like what support do you replace? So here's my question to you, Bradley. Or Radley, sorry, not Bradley. Who do you replace Mickey X? If you're gonna replace Mickey X, like let's say Hans leaves, you bring an upset. You need a new support. Who do you bring in? Like I feel like that's kind of hard, right? But who would you bring in? Do you think LCS teams next year can continue to improve? It was a good lucky year. It really depends on our GM job. Like it really depends on our GMs. What are GMs going to do? I think hypothetically speaking, we have an easier time. There's more internationals, more opportunities to learn. If EWC is still happening, that's 4 international events. Like you could keep going to these boot camps and like really improving the region. I think our players, like we're probably going to get rid of a lot of players who aren't motivated or aren't improving. Like I do think next year is probably going to be better, and like going further, the more international events we have, the more opportunities of learning and like beating these Eastern teams we have. So I think just in general, I would say that LCS has a better shot next year. But like if we're not converting this year, when LPL hasn't looked like honestly, TS is probably the only seed that looked really solid. LNG, yeah, LNG and TS, BLG were very shaky. Weibo had a bunch of shaky games where like they should have closed out. So who knows? Do you think yeah, seed shouldn't even matter anymore? Just beat whoever you're against. BLG is literally number one seed and hasn't even advanced yet. Exactly highlights and clips. This is G2's time to shine. Like if you're ever going to do it, if you ever want to prove that anything you've done works, this is the time. You should have every single analyst like finding every single little scouting reports, finding different picks and matchups, ways of exposing like On isn't playing very well. Like how do you expose that? Hans loves to dominate bot lane. How do you figure that out? They're playing Jun. Maybe you have some strategy. Like you put every single like ounce of effort in your fiber of being into winning this matchup. You don't look, you don't complain, you don't cry. You say, hey, this is going to prove that G2 is one of the best teams in the world and that we can compete not just for top 8, but to win. This is the statement. This is when G2 says, we're not just a dark horse. We are contenders. Because guess what? We just beat LPL 1. The same LPL, they didn't lose a single best of 5 in LPL. Guess what? We just beat them. We knocked them out of worlds. So you have to like fear us. That's why I'm saying they should be happy because now it's now or never, right? I think people heavily underrated LNG going to the tournament. Well, for good reason, right? Like we didn't know what Scout was doing, and like did they scrim with him? Did they not scrim with him? Like, what was he gonna look like? TL losing to them was okay. Yeah, they didn't look that great against TL, right? But losing to Weibo was disappointing. Yeah, Team Liquid losing to Weibo. I agree, Alex Tran. But like even against the Team Liquid, like LNG looked so much better game two, like against Weibo, against BLG, and then against DK. Like I feel like LNG game one was like had a little bit of jitters, and then game two and three played really really well. Even then they almost beat Weibo. Yeah, they definitely should have won. They were in positions to win. They kind of just threw. Like they didn't flash certain times. The flashes that they did flash like ended up still being in the shockwave. Pro Cell Pancakes, do you think G2 can beat BLG considered I don't considering BLG's current form? Absolutely. Yeah. On a night haven't played well, so G2 absolutely have a chance. Yeah, agreed with Sungu. G2 have a chance for sure. I think like I'm not gonna say it's 50-50. That's delusional. That I would be rewriting history. Like I favor G2 in my heart of hearts, but like my brain knows BLG. Like if Ben just decides, hey, I'm Ben. Like sometimes you just can't win, but I want them to. I want every fiber of their being to fight as hard as they can. And like besides that, I will not be satisfied with this G2, and I don't think they should. I think there's a thing to say like I gave it absolutely everything I had and it wasn't enough versus like oh I had more in the tank to give. And I don't want G2 to be like I don't want our teams year after year to feel like we had more to give and we didn't give it. Like it's just frustrating as a fan. Like at what point are we going to be have our peak performance when it matters the most? I don't want you to have your peak performance like when it doesn't matter. Ben is the X factor for BLG. Absolutely. Like, dude, Ben is such a pleasure to watch because I feel like even in MSI, Ben is that player where he's like, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna lose. I'm going to put my heart and soul. That Camille game, the Flash Oriana alt, where they both had to flash in order to get the 5 mana. Like he puts everything they have into his games, and he like refuses to lose. And it inspires me as someone who's like not even for league. It inspires me to like be to try harder in like in the gym or in rock climbing or like in whatever it is that I'm doing. There's just something that draws me to sports is the fact when I see people put in their absolute effort, the absolute all into trying to like achieve this the pinnacle of what they can. And there's something very fascinating and like mesmerizing about that. And I feel like Bin is one of those players who every time you feel like he's out or like he's like silent, he just shows up. Um, and I really appreciate about Bin, and that I really enjoyed watching BLG like last year as well. Um, yeah, they can. Mickey On and Mickey are similar form. Big Jungle is mental gapped. BLG Jungle. Oh yeah. Well, they're playing Jun, and I feel like Jun's probably gonna be like super motivated. So I don't know if he's gonna be mental gapped. Knight is missing. I like that because he played missing last year. Nice highlights. I don't even know if you did. It's just Bin Elk 2v5ing. The thing with like, dude, this is BLG. They can show up at any moment, but who knows? Do you think BB can match Bin? Absolutely. Like, I want BB to pull all the stuff. I want to see his Aurelia. I want to see his like Fiora. I pull out that Riven. You know what you're called Broken Blade because Riven has a broken blade. Pull out that Riven. Pull out that Yasuo. Pull out the what Yone. Like, show Bin that you're better. Or pull out counter picks like the Galio versus Rumble and just like solo kill him like you did with Breathe. Do something, but like I want you to go down fighting. And I feel like BB is like the only top laner right now that I feel like can do it. I feel like Bwipo tries and fails, but if I had to pick one top laner to match Bin, I would pick from the West, right? I would pick BB. Um, comes down to Bin's Jax and BB's Poppy. Ooh, dude, Jax versus Poppy is hell of a matchup. It's a hard matchup, but it's a matchup you can win as Poppy. But I feel like at the highest levels between Poppy and Jax, from what I've seen, Poppy can win. But if you're not like the highest level, like the medium level Poppy and Jax, Jax almost always wins. So it's just it's a cool matchup to see. Uh, why does T1 always perform so good at Worlds? I don't know, man. Something about them is like when the pressure comes, they're able to figure out ways of winning. It could be also patch. Like this patch was called the T1 patch for a reason, right? So it could be a lot of reasons, but it's honestly super incredible seeing a streak like this where they always make it out of groups. They've only ever lost one game before groups. Like they've made it to semifinals every year. It's just it's the amount of consistency is crazy. I don't know. I don't know how they're so consistent. And if I get to ask like T1, I'd love to. to really grill them on that question. Like the entire 10-minute interview is just going to be me asking, no, okay, so what do you mean by this? Like, what do you mean by that? How did you do? Like, what did you do? Like, just give me more detail, please. I'm begging you. What the West? We need this. BB being able to poppy is huge for G2. Yeah, fun draws. Dude, this was the worst possible draw. I was just complaining about that. Hey Bexy, I should say hi first. This is I feel like it's the worst possible draw. I would have rather 3 East versus 3 West. We had 3 teams. We had three like from each like side of the world. Just give us East versus West, and then we only got like one East versus West, and even then it's like we got an NA region kill, which kind of sucks. So I don't know. I didn't like the draw. I think ideally it would have been FlyQuest has to play Weibo, right? Because FlyQuest can't play Damwon. And then either Team Liquid Damwon and G2 BLG if you want to keep that G2 BLG, or Team Liquid BLG G2 Weibo. No, sorry. FlyQuest have to play Weibo. They already played Damwon. Because if FlyQuest plays, yeah, it doesn't work that way. So FlyQuest Weibo, and then G2 DK Team Liquid BLG, or the other way around. Like again, East versus West. That's what I wanted. With the new format, at least one South American team will make it to Worlds next year. Fun hypothetical: which LCS team will be the only one to lose to the Southern League to get them furthest in final tourney? Oh, I see what you mean, man. That's a hard one, Little D. Because like, let's say they're fourth. Let's say Ping Gaming, right? Let's say Ping Gaming finished fourth. Which team would they have beaten to finish fourth in order to make it? Because by virtue of being from Brazil, they make it. I think that's what you mean, right? Please ask them. I'll be so happy. Sure, I'll shout you out too. Pro style pancake. I'll be like, my man's pro style pancake. How would you say that? Pro shiguro? I don't know. How would you say that, Sungwon? If you know Sungwon, how would I say pro style pancake? Pancake 한국어 뭐예요? Naver dictionary. Pancake. Oh, just pancake. Okay. Oh well, I mean, your name is pretty much the same in English and Korean. Thoughts on the new power ranking system determining seeds at Worlds if it happens? I don't know. It depends on how they use it. I do think there's a lot of merit to having power rankings because it gives you just so much better matchups. Like the first like the 16 versus 1 and pancake is pancake in Korean. Yeah, I just realized. And then just like the first 3 or 4 games, like the first half of the games will kind of suck because it's like favorite versus the weakest teams, and then the other ones are a little bit more closest. Extra syllabus, yeah, pancake. Um, but I don't know how you make it work because think about it. The first like I understand the very first day of Swiss. Yeah, exactly how you interpreted it. I bet Dig. Ooh, I would bet Dig too. I feel like historically that would be right. I bet Dig as well. Yeah, I bet Dig. Um, Pro Well, how would you say style? Pro style? Would you say pro style pancake? I mean, I'm not gonna say in Korean anyways. I'll probably have a translator, but I'd like to. I'll shout you out if I get a T1 interview. I doubt I will, but it's really hard to get them. But who knows? Actually, no. Last year I got a bunch, so hopefully I get some. What was I saying? Uh, yeah, I think Dig. The thing is, we don't know what the rosters are gonna be. Thank you. No problem. We don't know what the rosters are gonna be, so it's gonna be difficult. Let me just write this down so I don't forget. I have like a doc where I put all my interview questions. So let me write this down. Pro style pancake. Um, where? Oh, that I did not mean to do that. Uh, what was I doing? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Damwon Weibo. Weibo's gonna win 2-0. I have no faith in Damwon. Like I have more faith in Weibo than I do in Damwon. G2 BLG. G2 is gonna win 2-1. Like you have to do it. Did you guys watch the speech? Did you guys watch Yamato's speech where he was just like motivating them, motivating G2, being like, "You want to make it to groups? playing freaking Damwon, playing freaking FlyQuest, playing Nobody is like Team Liquid. No, you came here. Your ancestors fought in wars. This is what you were built for. This is remember the slogan: "Make them believe. We will. You will make them believe." And it was like you got like some music in the background, motivation music, and then there's like a clip of Cadriel reacting, and Cadriel's just like, "Yes, we will believe. We will believe." He's just like jumping up and down. It was quite comedic. I hope he uploads it to his YouTube because that it was such a fun thing. And then yeah, I have FlyQuest over Team Liquid because, like I said, I have more faith in FlyQuest than I have in Team Liquid, but I respect it. I respect if Team Liquid show up. Oh man. All right, I think I've gotten everything out of my chest that I wanted to say. Um, it was a fun stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I will see you guys tomorrow after the games are done. Who knows what will happen? It'll either be a very happy stream with G2 like beating BLG, and I mean I have BLG as my favorites to win, so who knows, but either way, I think tomorrow's stream is going to be fun. Whether Team Liquid or FlyQuest both win, I think we'll have a eulogy for both. I might even make a little video now that I'm back home in my setup. Um, but yeah, I'm glad so many people are invested. I've been saying the best would be 3 East versus 3 West. Absolutely, Joshua Rees. Oh, I haven't seen that name in a while now. Welcome back. And there's a good chance Fly and G2 make it through. Yeah, Yamato never hesitates to motivate. Absolutely, dude. Yamato is one of my favorite. Like, I'm so happy. He's not. He's a content creator and didn't just be a like after he didn't find a coaching place or didn't find something like he didn't do nothing. He's actually a content creator. I'd love to. I would love if he was a content creator plus coach. Like he was coaching and he would like show a bunch of behind the scenes and stuff. That would be like super cool. But obviously, it's when you're a content creator, you're going 100% in, and when you're a coach, you're doing 100% in, and it's very hard to like balance that line. It's very very hard. But Yamato is like a personality I really enjoy. One day I'd love to talk to him about his sandbox years and his Fnatic years. I feel like those two, maybe Vitality, his Rockat, like honestly, he's just been around for so long. There's so much. Could you interview someone like Yamato? I was just saying that, Pancake. Like I would love to interview Yamato, but okay. Let me see if he has open DMs. Suzume. Ah, inclusive esse filme é incrível. Oh, okay, nice. I got a bunch of Portuguese people. Let me see if he has open DMs. I can DM him. Yamato. I mean, I don't expect he's gonna respond, but what I could do. Okay. Here's the play. I do an interview with like Faker, and then I'll be like, I asked Faker about Yamato, baiting Yamato to watch my video, have it rank one on the subreddit, and then at the end be like, Yo, I did this so that I could have an interview with Yamato. Please reach out to me. I'm begging you. Yeah, he doesn't have his DMs open, so I can't even DM him. I could email him. I could go into his Twitch chat. Honestly, a lot of times when I'm in his Twitch chat, he's like pretty chill and like he'll read a bunch of the messages. So maybe that's a better idea. But if going into his Twitch chat and asking for an interview doesn't work, then maybe I gotta pull out that master plan. Maybe I gotta get Faker to. I'll ask Faker to explicitly say, "Yo, Yamato, do an interview with my boy." And then if Faker says it, like Yamada has no other option, right? He has to do an interview with me. So maybe that's how I get it. Maybe that's how I get my interviews from now on. I just ask the pro to send a message for me. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow stream, like I said, after the games, probably right after. And then I should have like the scrums. It wouldn't be right after because I'm going to be doing interviews afterwards, but I'll have those interviews out, whether it's the winner interview from FlyQuest and the loser interview from the FlyQuest Team Liquid games. Those will be out. I don't. Okay, wait. Can I spoil who the interviews will be with? I don't think I know yet. Let me check real quick. Okay. Worlds 2024 announcements. I don't know yet. I will find out probably like 5 a.m. tomorrow. So in like I don't know, 7 8 hours, unfortunately. But uh, yeah, look forward to those interviews. They should be fun. They should be very very fun. Bye guys, thanks for hanging out. This is fun.